Hey guys, so I thought of an idea to compare, because a lot of people call uh, Namaste kind of like Amazon. They kind of compare it to Amazon because of the business model. So there was a great, so in today's video I'm going to be discussing that. I'm going to be showing you guys why it is similar to Amazon. But first we are going to watch a video that best describes. This is the first time Namaste got onto BNN, and it's a very interesting video. We're gonna watch it, and I'm gonna discuss it with you guys, and then I'm gonna get into why I think Namaste is similar to Amazon. Let's begin.
Cannabis company Namaste Technologies recently signed a deal that would allow them to bring on board telemedicine patients from the indigenous communities. The company says it is the first deal of its kind in the industry. Joining us now via Skype from Las Vegas is Sean Dollinger. He's the CEO of Namaste Technologies. Sean, good to be with you today. Thank you very much for joining us. And I want to first get from you your view of how you almost describe your company. When I was reading about it, to me, it sounds almost a little bit of the e-commerce of cannabis.
Thank you very much for having us on your show. And that's exactly what we are. Like, some people think we're just a vaporizer company or just a vaporizer manufacturer, but we're your everything cannabis store. So if you want vaporizers, cannabis, CBD, growing equipment, anything you might want cannabis, you want to think Namaste. We're in 20 countries around the world, and our staff speaks over 10 languages. And basically different tools, which we'll get to in the show, is there for our customers to have a better shopping experience. And the one that relates most to what we'll be discussing today is Namaste MD, which is our telemedicine portal, which allows people from the comfort of their own homes to be able to be connected to a service provider, like a nurse practitioner or doctor, and go through and get a medical prescription in under 10 minutes. And then they can continue their shopping experience online to get the cannabis and the medicine that they might need.
Sean, what are the barriers to entry, though, in terms of building a portal that you are describing right now?
As we all recognize, we're in this amazing new industry, and there's tons of compliance, and how do you know what is allowed and what's not allowed? A perfect example is across Canada, telemedicine is fine to be done, but in Alberta, they do not allow telemedicine. So it's how do you go about giving all Canadians equal rights to being able to go get their medical prescriptions?
But aren't you fearful that a bigger, larger player could come in and copy what you're doing?
So that's a great question. And at this conference I was speaking at, a retail conference in Australia last month, Namaste was actually invited to be the main keynote speaker of that event. And I hear about people having great products, great websites.
Okay, I just want to add, it's weird. He said that in Alberta they didn't accept telemedicine portal, but I'm in Alberta and I got my prescription through Namaste, so that's a little weird, but hey, I got it, so oh well, whatever, let's begin.
Great products, but as you know, it's so important to have traffic, and if you don't have the traffic coming to your website or the top of the funnel coming, then what do you really have at the end of the day? And Namaste's been at this for 4+ years, with Google and Amazon and Facebook all sitting on the sidelines waiting for federal laws to change in the US. It really gives Canadian companies a first mover advantage. And with e-commerce, which I have over 20 years of experience in, it really gives us the position. Just imagine an empty field and you're planting all these seeds with content. And then when people are doing searches online, they come to Namaste. And it's really important to note with the marketing regulations in Canada, where you really can't go out and put a billboard up with your company. It really gives Namaste an extremely unique position in the market.
Let's talk about the partnership with the Indigenous communities. How's that playing out? And what do you see in terms of the potential revenue growth for your company on the back of it?
So to give you an example, Canopy, who's the largest licensed producer currently in the world, publicly traded, their market cap's at about $8 billion, and they only have 130,000 patients. Namaste, with the technology that we've introduced through our beta program.
I just wanted to add, Canopy has 71,000 patients according to the last quarter report. So I guess his information is a little off, but I guess that I just wanted to add that in. I don't think it really matters. He's actually promoting Canopy more than they deserve, but oh well.
Which is just in the testing stages right now. We just surpassed 6,000 customers. Our market cap is only $400 million. And we believe with the technology and the partnership with ICMD, it allows us to have access to 1.5 million new customers that nobody has had access to before. So, even if we only bring 10% of them on board, that would still make us the largest licensed producer out there. Each customer from research shows that they're spending about $2,000 a year. With the referral agreements and the education grants we currently have in place, we make about 20% by handing those customers off to different partnerships. That's the unique thing about Namaste, and that's why ICMD decided to choose Namaste. It wasn't just for the technology piece.
That doesn't know, Namaste is getting 20% of gross revenues for every time a customer buys. So if I buy something from Aurora, Namaste would get 20% of that total cost. So, yeah, let's continue.
But the platform we're building, we buy cannabis from other licensed producers in Canada. So us and Shoppers Drug Mart were the only two companies in the queue to get this sales-only license. We're amazing at e-commerce. We don't want to start growing.
Right.
We feel the companies that are already growing are doing an amazing job. We want to be the platform to give everybody in Canada the tweet of cannabis they want.
Sean, this is important though. What's the latest in terms of that sales-only license?
So we got approved. So it's a new type of license by Health Canada. So typically people apply for a cultivation license and then a sales license. What we've received at this point is a production license. That means we're able to place orders for cannabis, receive it in our door, in our vault, test it, package it, but Health Canada needs to make sure that we're being responsible and we know what we're doing. They've now reviewed that process. They'll be coming to do a site visit here in the next couple weeks, and then we'll be able to get our sales license and really start shipping product out across Canada.
That was a good interview, right? For people that haven't saw it, maybe most of you guys already seen it, but for some people that haven't, you can also go on BNN and check it out. So let's continue with the actual video. Let's compare it. So if you look at, this is Amazon's quarterly reports. So this is their total revenue, which is 51 billion. Their gross profit is 20 billion. So that's the most important. This is where I want to compare Amazon to Namaste. So if you take the 20, if you take the 20 billion and then you divide it by the total revenue, you come to a gross margin of around 39%, maybe 40%. It ranges per quarter. Some quarter might be like 38%, or 36%. Some quarters might be 39. You can do the calculations yourself if you want to, or it might be higher than. Like if you look at this quarter, the total revenue was 60 million, but the gross profit was only 21 million. So the percentage is a lot lower. So it varies quarter to quarter, but it's around 39 to 35% depending on the quarter. But let's look at Namaste, which I have already loaded up here. Namaste makes, like, for the one quarter on February 2018, they made $5.6 million in sales, and the cost of the sales was 3.655. So you take, and then the gross profit was 197.8. So you take the gross profit 197.8038, and then you divide it by that top number, the sales number. You come to 35%. So their gross profit is very similar to Amazon, and they're still a fairly new company. It's consistently growing. If you look from the last year, in 2017, the revenues nearly doubled, and then they expect to double again and again and again for a while. So the company is on a huge growth ramp. I mean, and yeah, so they're on a huge growth ramp. So over time, it will be a lot better. Like the number will reflect it a lot better. So you have to look at like Namaste as a long-term hold, and then the Findify deal, right? If you look, they are the customer of Shopify, so that means that Shopify is now Namaste's customer. And then if you look at their pricing, right? So if you wanted to, like, let's say if you had how do you say, if you had an e-commerce store and you wanted to set up with Findify, then now Namaste is growing the customer base and the revenue, and since this is like a software revenue, there's no really big costs, because the cost is the research and development, and it's the employee, which is, you know, that's the cost of it. So, and then whatever they make from these revenues, it's pure cash and profit. And then there's as enterprise custom, which is probably higher than this, could be like $700, $800 a month. So they're already generating $1 million a year from Findify, and they expect to grow that. And then you add on like CBD products, you add on like the cannabis sales, you add on like a bunch of other stuff that they would be getting into. Over time, that revenue could get really high, and it'll start looking more like Amazon, because Amazon is kind of overpriced in my opinion. But so is Namaste. They're worth a lot more than some licensed producers like WeedMD and Abcan, which actually grow product. But Namaste, I guess the goodwill would be like the worldwide company. They are already generating revenue and expecting to keep generating and doubling and growing every year. So I don't know. That's just take what I have and just determine yourself if Namaste is a good investment. I think it is. It's hard for me to find another company that I would think in a year could double my money. When I look at a licensed producer, I look at risk, like the risk factors. If they're not a global company and they're not like either like the top players, it's kind of hard to compete, because Canopy is going to be very aggressive when it takes market share. Same with Aurora, same with Alpharia. All these companies are after any kind of money they can take, so it's going to push out the smaller players. So it's hard to find a good cannabis player. I guess the video's already been long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, please give me a thumbs down. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.